There, friends, let's talk about the tropics and Japan here because we are watching Invest 95W and a potential storm system on the tail end of 95W. That's going to move off towards the north and west, rounding the WestPacWx here, kind of forming up with the Tut. Could impact Japan. Meanwhile, a lot of convection, some pretty decent storms kicking off across parts of the Philippines here on our Saturday evening. Do check out my separate video on that. I was talking about that in a little bit more detail and what's causing all that, and some enhanced showers that still could be seen even heading into next week. But let's talk about 95W, kind of forming up with an upper level low too, moving off towards our north and west. And this is really separated from the main formation area for this time of year, especially further down towards the south, so it does have to encounter some dry air and a bit of shear to working against it, and that's why I don't expect rapid intensification or anything like that. But, and even JMA anticipates this, it drifting towards north and west as an area of low pressure, which means it could become a tropical depression. Just depends on if it gets tropical organization. But the point is, moving off towards the north here, kind of pulling in with some moisture with it, but it just kind of gets wrapped up with the rainy season front. But even with that said, like right here, this would indicate by Wednesday morning some, almost tropical storm strength conditions for the Nagoya area or even parts of Tokyo Bay. With that said, once again, it's not anticipated to ramp up into anything major for Invest 95W. Keep that in mind. 95W. Now, behind this, we could have a 96 or 97. Depends on the way the timing and all that lays out. That could develop and take a very similar path. And we watch our area of low pressure kind of track along here. Look at the area behind it, though. So this one very well could come on shore by midweek. But then we see another area of convection trying to form up. And that one is the one that, in the long-range forecast, could come quite interesting. All right, so here's Invest 95W, by the way, with JTWC, they're calling it that. JMA also does have it as an area of low pressure, and they do anticipate it to kind of drift off here towards the west, all part and assisted by the monsoonal flow coming across the Philippines and heading towards the rainy season front, the Mayu Biofront, which has been bringing flooding rains across eastern areas of China, South Korea, and western areas of Japan. You can really see that lined up pretty significantly right in there. That's really dominating the general weather pattern, by the way, for the entire Western Pacific. Look at this, though. This is the GFS on the 29th. So let's actually scroll back. And we're going to start off with Sunday the 22nd. There comes our first storm, kind of kicking off towards Japan there. It weekends out, moves over, and gets absorbed. Then we look back towards Guam, and it does look like a secondary storm tries to develop there. And the GFS, which is notorious for early season spin-ups. So I quite often go, okay, hold on a second. That's scary. I mean, whoa, look at that. But what does the ECMWF say? Well, the ECMWF is also trying to spin it up, but more of a big fat monsoonal gyre, which I think is more likely. But at the same time, the GFS on the first heading into the second is trying to, I'm going to move this up so you can see the time frame right there in the bottom of the screen. It's trying to develop a secondary low off the coast of the Philippines here. So it almost spreads out that energy and just brings a big old fat rainstorm. But the point is, I think that's unlikely. A typhoon traversing east to west through the Luzon Strait. In either scenario, it would definitely enhance monsoonal showers for the Philippines, but also really could bring, tropical conditions for the southern coast of Japan. Yeah, it's questionable at this time. The ensembles are kind of all over the place. In either scenario, I think we could see an enhanced southwesterly monsoonal flow. But both the GFS and the ECMWF and a couple other different model outlooks we use are showing at least something trying to develop here near the Ogasawara Islands. That's these islands here south of Tokyo, technically part of Tokyo, by the way. Fun little fact there for you. It's still a week and a half out, guys, so we still got time to watch this. I'm not going to sit here and scream bloody murder over that potential, but it is there. And so once again, here's a look at the broader view. We got our first low that comes on shore there in southwestern Japan. Rainmaker, but kind of gets absorbed to the rainy season front. And then we got the secondary low, which this is a GFS, showing you, and compare this up with the CMC, also indicating a big fat storm, maybe even over towards Okinawa with the CMC. And then it's your ECMWF, showing, something trying to develop and split low. Point is, things could start to ramp up, heat up here in the tropical Western Pacific. As always, though, if you got any questions, please let me know. I'm always trying my best to keep you informed and posted about what's happening out here over the Western Pacific in the tropics, so including Japan, the Philippines, Guam, wherever you are. So, as always, thanks for watching. And, of course, number one thing, please, friends, stay safe out there, all right?